Hey moviegoers, this is the Movie Critic and welcome to another movie review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Pixar's latest animated film, Luca. Before I get into the video, I would just like to say to all of you moviegoers, thank you so much for all of the love and support that you've given me on my first movie review of The Mitchells vs. the Machines. It was very great to see all the love and support in the comments and all of the likes that I've gotten from the video, and I can't wait to see what this channel takes us and takes like me in this journey of me becoming a movie critic of some kind. I hope it ends up being for the better, and I hope that almost all you guys are here now will be with me as we move along. But once again, thank you very much for the love and support, and I love you guys. As you guys know, with the movie reviews that I do, they're all spoiler free. They're not spoiler heavy. I really only cover like the surface of movies, like what you might see when you watch it in like trailers. But besides that, I don't really spoil stuff because I want you guys to see this for yourselves. And plus, the movie just came out yesterday. It came out yesterday when I recorded this, and I want you guys to watch it for yourselves. So this is a spoiler-free review. Do not worry about that in any way. Before we get into the video, again, make sure to smack the like button. Let's see if we can get to at least 10 likes. I'm not gonna bring it up, but let's see at least 10 likes. If you want to support my channel in any way, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell on the side to get future notifications on all future videos that I make later on. If you also want to help again support my channel even farther and expand it to other people, you can share this video, share any other videos of your interest, or share this channel yourself, which will really help me a lot, and it's gonna be very awesome. I think that's it. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the review and action. Set in a beautiful seaside town in the Italian Riviera during the summer solstice, the original animated feature by Pixar is a coming-of-age story about a young boy named Luca who experiences an unforgettable adventure. He shares these wonderful adventures with his newfound best friend named Roberto, but all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret that affects both Luca and Roberto. They both are sea monsters. And in the area that they travel to, sea monsters are not taken very lightly. Ever since 2020, when the movie was first starting to get buzz, or I think it was late 2019, I've always been very intrigued by how I saw the art style of the title card was. I was like, this seems interesting. Luca, what's that about? And then as it went on, when we started to get concept art of the movie and everything else, how it was supposed to look, and I saw how the characters how they looked very differently than most Pixar movies animation wise. The other thing that really sold me when I saw concepts was the story itself. And at first, as you seen when I read from the synopsis off of Google, before with the concept, they mentioned that Roberto, the friend, they didn't really say what his name was. They only mentioned Luca. But before that, they said that the friend Roberto was the sea monster. They didn't say that Luca was a sea monster. They just said that Roberto was a sea monster. So imagine how I was when I saw the first trailer of Luca when it first was released, and I saw Luca when Luca jumped into the water, and then he transitioned into a sea monster. I was like, what? He's not supposed to be a sea monster. It's supposed to be just Roberto. What the world? And I was just like very intrigued with how they made both of them sea monsters, and it's very cool. It's not like one of those types of movies where that I thought it would be, where it was like Luca would have to try to protect the fish coming out of water and stuff like that. Kind of like those types of movies you would see, like with, I'm not gonna say Free Willy, but like E.T., where it's like an extraterrestrial being that comes from outer space, and the kid has to protect it and like make sure that nobody finds it or anything. It was very interesting. They made both of the characters, the main protagonists, that they made both of them sea monsters. Now that I've seen the movie, I am glad that I was interested, and the hype has never really died down after I've seen this movie. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the pros that I've had. There's a lot of pros that I have with the movie, and I'm going to talk about a little bit of cons that I have. Starting off with the pros, the main pro that I have is the animation. The animation in this movie, as I've said, from like the concept art, but when you actually see it on the screen, when you actually see it on your television, since it's not in theaters, sadly, but it is really good. It's very different for Pixar style, with like how they do most movies is very different. The setting and everything, how it looks, it's much more vibrant and more colorful, in my opinion, than most Pixar movies. Not saying that a lot of them aren't like very colorful or anything, but mostly when I see some Pixar movies, they try to go for the sort of realistic aspect of everything. Like what I've saw, sorry, I'm losing my words. Like with what I've seen, how they did Toy Story 4, how they made like Toy Story 4 very, very realistic. Seeing all that, but then you look at Luca, and everything just looks so lively and animated. Well, everything is animated, but it looks lively and vibrant, just like the whole entire setting of the seaside. The water looks gorgeous. I don't know why, but I just have a thing for water, and when it looks really good in animation, it's like it looks so good. And the characters, from the concept, they look like puppets, and then when you watch the movie, they kind of look like puppets, but they don't look wooden, of course, but they just have that kind of facial expression of what a puppet kind of is, especially Luca. And another key thing that I really liked about the animation was how Roberto and Luca and the rest of the sea monsters, how they looked under the water. They look very beautiful. Like Roberto, when he's a sea monster, he is purple blue. He's like a purple blue blend, and it just looks so cool to see purple and blue like coexist with each other like that. Although it's probably been seen before, but the way that they made the sea monsters look in the movie looks cool. Like with Roberto, and then with Luca, the way he looks in the movie is probably what I like. His colors are probably what I like the most out of all the sea monsters, because his blends are two of my favorite colors, green and blue, and green and blue together make turquoise, which is also my all-time favorite color. But the way blue and green coexist on Luca and how they just like blend in with each other, it looks so cool to me. I loved it, and just seeing him go in the water and like do all the tricks that you probably would see fish and stuff do in the water, it was just so beautiful, and I just loved it. And almost every single scene looked really beautiful. The lighting on the film was like, I'm not gonna say it was stellar, but it was beautiful to watch. It was very beautiful to watch, seeing the light bounce off of the water. Animation has come a very long way, especially 3D animation. Like Toy Story was like the first animated computerized like film, like full-length film. And that was Pixar. Pixar made Toy Story, and just seeing how far Pixar and animation as a whole, like 3D animation, has come, it's just so it's mind-boggling. Just like how the future of animation has been. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful film. I love it. The second pro that I have with this movie is the relationship between Luca and Roberto.
I know your problem. You got a Bruno in your head.
A Bruno.
Say, Silenzio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Louder. Silenzio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Silenzio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Can you still hear him?
Nope, just you.
Good. Now hang on.
Luca and Roberto, when you like first meet Luca is kind of like a very precautious person who just lives life by the rules. He wants to do something, but he doesn't know what. He just goes by his daily routine every single day, doing this stuff for he has a mom and a father. And he does stuff for his mom. He tries to make his mom proud. He loves his mom. But he feels like there's something more, which is kind of like what Ariel did. And then he meets Roberto. And Roberto is this type of carefree, go-getter, kind of a mixture between Timon and Pumbaa, with like just having no worries and everything. And he's just a heavy hitter, a go-getter, an overachiever. He goes into life head first. And when you see them like meet together, it's like they just coexist with each other. It was like they were meant to be friends in a way. And it's just very nice to see their bonds throughout the movie. The voice actors for both Roberto and Luca, they give very beautiful performances, and you can really see the relation, like how good the relationship, the friendship between Luca and Roberto is throughout the film. In most scenes when they're like talking about like world stuff and finding out what to do, because they're sea monsters and they're going to this world. Although Roberto is more experienced than Luca because he's been up there more than once, but he's teaching Luca how to do these things, and when he's doing so, you can like see that he wants to help Luca. And it's a very beautiful friendship. As I've already teased in the little segment that I just had not too long ago, another pro that I also have for this movie is the voice acting for all of the characters that are seen in this movie. The voice acting is very, very, very good. The emotion, like you can hear the emotion between the actors and actresses that play each and every character, and the animation fits the voice acting very well. They don't contrast in any way. It fits like every single character. Their voice fits the character somehow. It fits somehow that is very, very scary, to be honest. And there's this one scene with Roberto's character. I'm already familiar with with the voice actor because he was a character in the newest reboot of the It franchise. He played the little kid with the inhaler. The actor played Roberto's voice actor, and he gave a really awesome performance, especially in this one scene. Almost made me cry. Almost, it was close, but it didn't make me cry. Like it was so close. It would have made me cry. Like a tear probably would have fell through my eye if it just kept going for a little longer. But it didn't make me cry. But it was so close. And Luca's like voice actor, I don't know of him. I don't even know his name up the top of my head. I didn't even look up the character's voice actor's name, but he did a really awesome job. And I think he's like young. He's like very young. I think he's still like, I don't know, he's probably like a tween probably, but he has very good potential to be a very compelling voice actor in the future if he's like that dedicated. If he wants to become a future voice actor, if he wants to become an actor, I could see him doing very well in so many other projects because he did very good. And Luca's mother was played by Maya Rudolph. Maya Rudolph, I know of her because she's in Grown Ups, and she also was the judge the in The Good Place, and she's like a very hilarious character. She's not very hilarious in this movie. She's more like the caregiving mother that you probably see in like almost every other every other Disney or Pixar movie that has a mother in it. She plays the role of a mother that loves her son very well, and it's very. I love her character. I love the voice actor. They picked really good voice actors for this film, and I'm very satisfied with the picks that they had. But yeah, and all the other people that had voice acting, especially the dad of Julia, who was one of the is a girl that Roberto and Luca met along the way. She's also really good as a voice actor. She's so adorable. But her dad, he reminds me of Flint Lockwood's dad from Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs. You'll see when you watch the film. You can probably look at a trailer or a clip right now on YouTube. But he looks exactly kind of like him. But they give off really good performances as well. But the one that really stood out to me was Roberto's voice actor. He did very well. I love the voice acting. This is the last pro that I have for this film. It's just the plot. I like the plot, that like the way it was heading. Besides all the plot that I knew from the surface, what I like saw in the film, how it went, like how it like coordinated itself in like what direction the plot went, from like the exposition to the rising action to the climax, and then the falling action, then the resolution. From beginning to end, there was a plot, and it was a plot. It was a movie plot. It was an animated plot, and it didn't feel generic in a good amount of ways. It was a really good plot. It was a good plot. But that's all the pros that I have for the movie. Now I'm finna get into two cons I guess I have for the movie. While I praise the plot for the film, there's like one thing that I kind of have a little gripe with, and that's the resolution. Like, while the resolution is like, it's good, I feel like it could have been more with how it went, and like how it just like built up, like how everything built up to it, sort of. I don't know why, but it just felt a little bit more rushed to me than the other parts in the movies. Like, everything else was like put out piece by piece by piece by piece. Some could say it was a little too slow, but I really didn't like see it. But like, for some reason, I don't know, but the last part of the film, just like the last few minutes, kind of felt like, I don't know, it felt weird. Like, it just like felt like everything was just, not everything was just happening at once, but like this happened and this happened. Okay, yeah, it does sound like everything happened at once, but it kind of felt like a bit fast for me, a little bit. But like, plot wise, I like everything else. The ending is good, could have been better, but it's like it went a little bit fast. The last like con that I have, it's not bad, but for the company, I would say so. It kind of didn't feel like a Pixar movie to me. It felt like an animated film, how an animated film should be, but it didn't feel like a Pixar movie, because with most Pixar movies, they always deal with something like kind of traumatic or some type of crisis, like how we saw with Soul, how Joe Gardner wanted to do something meaningful in his life, and then he goes through this entire journey with 22 trying to tell her why life is so important, and then he finds out that there is no meaning of life. That's just an illusion, and that all we should do is just live our life every single second of it, because we never know, because you don't know what's good until it's gone. And I really like what they did with that. Pixar always tries to have a type of message when they make their films. And this movie it didn't really have a message that than most Pixar movies would. And that's something that I really like. I didn't feel off by it because I like the movie as just like an animated film. But as a Pixar movie, it just didn't have that type of Pixar touch, in my opinion. It was just an animated movie with a Pixar name, with a Pixar brand name on it. That's how I feel about the movie. But I wouldn't say it's like really like a con. It could be a con to some people, but it's not really a con to me. But as a Pixar movie, like I wouldn't like put it probably in the top 5. It probably would be number 6 in my book. But it's a Pixar. It's not really a Pixar film. I know I'm probably said that many times. But yeah. Luca is Pixar's newest animated feature film that tells a story about a friendship between two sea monster boys and an adventure of a lifetime in the summer of Italy. The animation in the film is very amazing and breathtaking, eye candy, most definitely, and is gonna be very amazing on the eyes for so many people, which is why I wish it was a theatrical film, but sadly it wasn't. The voice acting in the movie is very stellar, especially Roberto's voice actor. I'm glad to see him doing voice acting. I don't think I've ever seen him done something in the voice acting catalog, but I'm glad that he took that route because he did very good voice acting wise, and I'm just overall everybody did a very good job, and it was very stellar in my opinion. The plot is very visible, and from beginning to the climax to almost the end, everything plays off, is paced very well. But then when it gets to the end, it just feels like everything's just jumbled up, and it's like they just ran out of time a little bit. The ending had more potential than it was already set up to be. I felt like they could have ran, if they had like a few more minutes left and they fleshed it out a little bit more, it would have been a very good ending. While it is a Pixar film, the movie itself, it really didn't feel Pixar-y. It didn't have that Pixar touch. It just felt like an animated feature with the Pixar stamp on it. It really didn't have that type of groundbreaking message that almost every other Pixar film seems to have. But besides that, that's all that I can say about the movie. On the metal status ranking, I give this film a gold status. I am so tired right now. It's 12:32 right now. Like, it won't be when this movie is up. When this movie review is up, I'm so tired. I watched the film like at like 10 o'clock. I guess I watched it at like 10 p.m. I should have watched it earlier than that, but I don't know. There's something wrong with me. I'm glad that I made the video. The rest of this outro is just me being me, I guess, after the editing is done. Also, looking back at this video, I totally butchered his name. His name's not Roberto, it's Alberto. And that's not my fault. That's my fault. But it's Alberto, not Roberto. I don't know. I guess I was really tired because I had watched the movie at like 10 and did the review from like 11 to 1 o'clock. But it's Alberto, not Roberto. Sorry. Thank you all for watching this video. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you are interested in more videos. I have a lot of more videos planned in the future. The next movie review should be on In the Heights. I know it's like a week late, but I'm gonna be watching In the Heights. I'm gonna be watching In the Heights, and I love musicals, so that should be fun, and I can't wait to have that review up. But I hope you guys really did enjoy the video. Once again, this was the Movie Critic, and that's a wrap.